We often find ourselves content in life, whether that be with how many friends we have, what job we work, or even how much money we make in a year. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with being content in those things, but one place we should never find ourselves being content is spiritually, because to become spiritually content is almost like becoming spiritually stagnant. You stop looking inward, you stop asking yourself where you need to grow, you stop asking God what He still needs to change in you. And that's dangerous because there's always something we can grow in. There's always some area of our life where we can become more patient, more loving, more disciplined, more humble, and more obedient to God. And I think the hard part is that sometimes we don't even realize we've become comfortable. Our own heart has convinced us that we're perfectly fine the way we are, that we're doing enough, that there's nothing about us that we need to change. But Scripture warns us about this. In Jeremiah 17:9 it says that the heart is deceitful. And I think that's something we have to take seriously, because sometimes our heart is going to tell us what we want to hear. It's easier to tell us ourselves that we're doing fine. It's easier to look at someone and say, well, at least I'm doing better than them. It's easier to focus on how far we've already come instead of asking ourselves how much further God is calling us. And that can slowly turn into pride. We start thinking that we don't need correction, we don't need to change, we don't need to grow anymore. And honestly, that's a really dangerous place to be, because now instead of depending on God to transform us, we've almost convinced ourselves that we've already arrived. But none of us have arrived. I don't care how long you've been following Christ. I don't care how much scripture you know. I don't care how often you pray or how often you go to church. There is always more. There is always more of ourselves that we can surrender to God. There's always something in us that can look more like Christ. And I think instead of asking ourselves, am I doing enough? Maybe the better question is, where am I still holding back? Where am I still prideful? Where am I still selfish? Where am I still choosing my own will over God's? Because the goal shouldn't be to reach some point where we can finally say, okay, I'm good now. The goal is to keep growing, to become more like Christ. So be content with what you have. Be thankful where you are in life. But when it comes to your relationship with God, we should never be so comfortable we stop asking Him to change us.